Well, let's start with a quote. Houston, we have a problem. And do you know what? Procurement has got a problem. The problem we've got is it would appear we can't talk to people. I've just spent 3 days teaching a procurement team of a large global organization. And, we're chatting through their experience of work. And do you know what their number one problem was? Relationships with stakeholders. They didn't have them. They couldn't get engagement. They couldn't get stakeholders to agree on business requirements, let alone sign off to say that they were correct. And I actually was quite robust. I said, listen, if your stakeholders don't sign off business requirements, don't do any work. Don't do it. Why should you? What other profession would accept a unagreed set of requirements that have not been signed off, so there's no commitment, and then let you go and do your work and then blame you when you didn't somehow magically deliver what it was that they didn't tell you they actually wanted? It's ridiculous. I have seen so much investment in technology, in improving process, in designing the best category strategy documents, PowerPoint, let me say the word, PowerPoints, that the world has ever seen. And do you know what? All of it is useless. Absolutely useless if we cannot engage, work, talk, problem solve with our stakeholders. So in all the effort that we put in, if we don't fix that one problem, none of the other stuff actually matters. I had a little think about this back in January, and I've talked to a few people about it. I'm convinced our biggest problem is that we talk about what we do rather than the solution. And the way that I think about it is, imagine this is a letter C. I hope we can see a letter C. And imagine that your stakeholders have given you a problem to solve. That's the fingers. And the solution, the thumb, is what we believe as procurement professionals, as a category manager, that your stakeholders should do in order to solve their problem. Now, if we were in any other profession, we would say, you told me you had this problem. This is what I think you should do. I mean, just think about going to a doctor. You go in, or I go in, I say, my shoulder's hurting. And the doctor sort of prods and pokes and moves it around a bit and says, Richard, you are in your late 50s. You've spent all weekend lifting heavy bags and stuff in the garden. You're an idiot. Take painkillers and just rest it. Solution. What the doctor does not do is spend all their time telling me about their medical training and about the research they did on the latest drugs. Because I'm not interested. I'm interested in them listening to my problem and the doctor telling me the solution. It's the same for procurement. Our stakeholders should trust us and be able to talk to us to tell us the problem. And yes, they absolutely have to sign it off and agree on it, and we shouldn't do any work until they have. And then we should go back to them with a solution. But do you know what we do? Let's have a look at the FIST. The FIST is, if you like, a category strategy document. I mean, this is where we do all our work. That's where all the glorious PowerPoint is. All the 5 forces, the SWOT, the market research, the risk analysis. I mean, it's very good stuff. But when we go to talk to stakeholders, we do that. We literally put the FIST in the middle of the communication. And we never get to talk about the solution because we're so busy saying, well, you asked us to do this. Now let me tell you about all the good stuff that we have done. This is good stuff, but no one's interested. And we need to hide that away. We need to speak the business language of listening to a problem and offering a solution. Now, that's hard enough. But if we don't have the relationships with our stakeholders in the first place to be able to talk to them, to either get the problem or to be trusted when we offer the solution, we're going absolutely nowhere. And for those that know me, I have a good old issue with that silly old trope of procurement needs a seat at the table. It doesn't. What procurement needs is the trust of its stakeholders. And if we invested as much effort in trying to get the trust of our stakeholders and giving our procurement professionals the communication and soft skills to be able to earn that trust, if we put as much effort into that as we do into talking about why procurement needs a seat at the table, I actually think we'd find ourselves in a really good place. What do you think?